This video is a companion piece to my Unmaking of the Stepford Wives essay. In that essay, I made references to a test screening cut of the Stepford Wives. At the time, I was working from a written description of that cut with screen caps. Recently, I got a hold of the test cut, and the differences between it and the final cut were so interesting that I've decided to share them here. Afterwards, I will give my thoughts on which cut I think is the stronger movie.
Some assembly required.
I do not know the date of this test cut or where its creation lies within the post-production of the film. It appears that the film is in a near-finished state with special effects, sound mixing, and color timing. It does not appear to have much, if any, of David Arnold's amazing score. The differences start immediately with the opening credits. The test cut has pink-on-black text, with Helen Reddy's song, I Am Woman.
I am woman, hear me roll, in numbers too big to ignore.
The final cut has David Arnold's score with a montage of 1950s housewives. At the EBS season announcement, an additional promo is shown between Balance of Power and I Can Do Better. Who Loves You More is a reality competition where divorced couples compete for their children's custody.
I will love you and cherish you and make our relationship the most important thing in my life.
You never have to tell me where you're going or who your friends are. I don't care. Do whatever you want because I'm usually drunk. Kids! Mom! It's Mom!
After Joanna's firing, we have an extended scene with her assistant Heather. We learn that Joanna has little knowledge about her own children.
You call my children's school and tell them I'm coming to pick them up. They go to St. Andrews. Not for the last 6 months. Now they go to Dalton.
And that her husband Walter has been having an affair with Heather.
Baby!
Walter!
After her elevator scream, we are treated to security camera footage of her breakdown. The hospital scene has some small but significant tonal changes. The final cut focuses on Walter as he enters the room. The test cut focuses on the catatonic Joanna during his entrance. As Joanna proposes a fresh start, the test cut has a funny toy sound effect as she tosses a stuffed animal.
I'm so sorry.
And an awkward attempt at affection by Joanna. The final cut deletes all of these and, with the exception of the children's drawing, plays the scene straight. On the drive to Stepford, there is additional dialogue with Walter and the children.
Did Mommy get electroshock?
No, of course not. She's just a little tired.
The test cut includes footage of the near catatonic Joanna when Claire is testing the smart house features on her tour.
Now this controls the security system.
All secure.
After the introduction of Robo Rover, Joanna tries petting the robot.
Hey there. Oh, what am I doing?
Following the house tour, the final cut has a brief silent scene showing Joanna asleep in bed with a worrying Walter watching her. The test cut features a much more involved dialogue scene where Joanna and Walter discuss his affair with Heather.
Heather just kept saying you're so beautiful and so brilliant, and that your desk was so big.
It ends with Joanna's dismissal of Walter.
She just wanted a father figure, a mentor, some, quietly sensual, somewhat dangerous, slightly older guy.
You?
Additional household chore exercises are shown during Joanna's visit to the Simply Stepford Day Spa.
She can also trim and tone her inner thighs and mop and glue and mop and glue and mop and glue and mop.
Sarah's malfunction at the hoedown is closer to the edit found in the DVD deleted scenes, with its extended shots and enhanced robotic visual effects. However, the test cut does not have the added special effects during Sarah's exit.
You're even prettier than in the newspapers. They don't do you
Excuse
justice.
me, that woman is very sick.
After Walter learns that the seemingly perfect Stepford wives are robots, the test cut includes a scene of him being given an official Stepford jacket in an Olympic-like ceremony.
Congratulations. Now you're one of us.
During the cupcake scene, the test cut includes additional dialogue revealing that Dave has purchased a new car.
Ooh, Joe delicious, Joe nasty, Joe mama. He's been like this all day, ever since he got that new car.
You got the vet?
Shadowing his induction among the other Stepford men. When Dave and Walter leave, the soundtrack plays I'm a Man by Fabian. This inclusion accents the change of power dynamics since the film's opening with I Am Woman. I have no way of knowing if these were temp music tracks or the director's intent, but I enjoyed their use. After Roger's mysterious meeting at the Men's Association, the final cut has a scene not included in the test cut. Joanna and Bobbie discover that Roger is throwing away some of his more flamboyant belongings.
Fico!
The Stepford political rally is very different between the two versions. Roger has different dialogue explaining his transformation.
This man has saved me. This man has taught me. This man has made me realize that I can be gay and a Republican.
In the final cut, Roger takes questions from Joanna and Bobbie.
You two are happy now?
More than ever. Because now I know that being gay doesn't mean a guy has to be effeminate or flamboyant or sensitive. I'm no sissy.
No! In the test cut, it is revealed that Roger and Jerry have adopted 2 grown sons. There is no Q&A.
And to prove our commitment to the traditional family, just this morning, Jerry and I adopted our 2 sons, Chip and Kip. Get out here, lads.
This is crazy.
Both scenes end with chants of "You can't stop Stepford." When Joanna is trying to leave Stepford for good, the Smart House reacts differently in each version.
Secure. Flush toilets.
After Walter convinces Joanna to wait till the next day to leave, the final cut lingers on Joanna's relief, while the test cut lingers on a stoic Walter, ending the scene in a more suspicious note. At this point, the test cut presents a fully deleted sequence, where Joanna visits the Simply Stepford Day Spa to tell Claire that she and Walter are leaving. Joanna is convinced to get a makeover when she is shown that Heather, her former assistant, has taken her old job.
Today, EBS announced its new president, a bold, bright new choice, Heather Kimball. She's a comer. Until recently, the beautiful young Kimball was the assistant to the network's tragic former president, Joanna Eberhardt.
It is revealed that the makeover is a front, so that the men can do scans and prep work to create a Joanna robot. During the procedure, Joanna is seemingly hypnotized by a video of Mike.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
Of course I believe you.
Of course I believe you.
I love that story.
I love that story.
You choose.
You choose.
Have you been working out?
Have you been working out?
After the spa sequence, the test and final cuts rejoin with Joanna waking up in the middle of the night and discovering her remote and the former careers of the Stepford Wives. The final cut does add a gag where we learn that the Robo-Rover is a Stepfordized show dog. Now we get to the infamous Bobbie robot scene. Early in the final cut version, we are treated to an exchange with Bobbie handing out specific lunch requests to her sons.
Adam, you wanted peanut butter and jelly, no crusts, a Snickers bar, and a Rolex.
This is not present in the test cut, which goes straight to Joanna confronting Bobbie. In the final cut, Joanna flees the house after seeing Bobbie's hand resting on an open stovetop flame. The test cut is more similar to the DVD deleted scene. Bobbie short circuits and begins showing off her robotic functions to Joanna. However, the vacuum gag is not present in the test cut. The confrontation between Joanna and the Men's Association adds an extra beat in the final cut. After Joanna asks,
Does any fraction of these women still exist?
Mike shows a 1950s-style educational film detailing how the Stepford system works. The test cut does, however, add this fun exchange.
If that person possessed the timeless perfection of a fine European sports car, what would you have?
A Porsche you could
Bravo.
At the beginning of the ballroom sequence, the final cut includes an entrance for Joanna and Walter. The test cut's deprogramming sequence is much longer than both the final cut and the DVD deleted scene, featuring extended footage of Walter in the lab, the wives waking up, and more dialogue with Joanna and Mike in the garden.
I want to touch it, just lightly, with one fingertip.
touch my hair.
The test cut does not include the DVD deleted scene of Sarah holding her husband in the air.
Sarah,
You want some?
It does include an added line of dialogue from Claire, revealing what happened to Patricia after she was murdered.
I perfected the process on Patricia, and today, she is an attractive, energy-efficient, top-loading washer-dryer.
Claire's death in the test cut is the extended version previously seen in the DVD deleted scenes. Very Tex Avery and over the top. Also included are Mike's final words.
Good night. And thank you for visiting Stepford.
The endings are very different in execution, but not entirely in substance. In the final cut, Joanna, Roger, and Bobbie are being interviewed about the ordeal, with Walter watching them from off camera. Joanna speaks about her marriage.
Now we know for sure that it's not about perfection. Perfect doesn't work.
In the test cut, we see Walter and Joanna leaving their Stepford home, the rest of the wives saying their goodbyes.
Are you gonna be okay? Of course, this is my next book.
Walter asks Joanna a question.
Honey, do you ever wish that I was a robot?
No, never.
As the car pulls away, Bobbie malfunctions. The final scene is the same in both versions. The husbands are doing the shopping at the market. However, when they stop to talk, the intercom says something different.
Hey, you guys. Which aisle is quilted paper towels? If I don't get the right kind, my wife's gonna kill me.
Aisle 10.
Which aisle is quilted paper towels? If I don't get the right kind, my wife's gonna kill me.
Oh, aisle 3. And
No talking, keep shopping.
Roll credits. So which version is the better movie? This is not a situation like Blade Runner or Brazil. Between the test cut and the final cut, Stepford Wives was not comprehensively changed. The plot points and outcomes are pretty much the same. The biggest difference is tonal. As discussed in the previous essay, the filmmaker's original intention was dark comedic satire. The test cut is a good reflection of that. Dark comedy by its nature is a bit mean-spirited. Nearly all deletions from the test cut are elements that were clearly deemed too mean or unsympathetic. Who Loves You More? Walter's Affair? The Bobbie robot scene? I will admit, when I heard on the director's commentary that they deleted a subplot in which Walter had an affair, I was relieved. I figured it would make Walter irredeemable, but after seeing the test cut, I don't feel that was the case anymore. It defined the stakes of their marriage, and Joanna's ultimate feelings of inadequacy. This is what kept Joanna in Stepford. Without that subplot in the final cut, their marriage crisis has no substance for the audience to grab. No wonder the reshoot ending shifted focus to Joanna's friendship with Bobbie and Roger over her reconciliation with Walter.
Wait until he's asleep, then cut it off.
I prefer the test cut. I like dark comedy, and the test cut scratched that itch well. In my previous essay, I made comments about Nicole Kidman being miscast. The test cut doesn't pull a 180 to that opinion, but I think the deleted material filled in some gaps and made her performance stronger. This is not to say the test cut is a perfect film and did everything better. I prefer the final cut's political rally and its shortened ballroom scene, minus Claire's abbreviated death scene. I like Joanna's comments in the reshoot ending about how marriage is not perfect. I wish we had seen that exchange between them in the car of the test cut ending.
Now we know for sure that it's not about perfection. Perfect doesn't work.
Dark comedy creates a heightened tone. When the audience accepts the consequences of a reality show like Who Loves You More in Act 1 of your story, we are on the path to accept that robot wives and house-arrested husbands can have a happy ending in Act 3. Dark comedy gives us permission to laugh at tragedy.
I'm so sorry. Maybe that man who tried to shoot me, maybe he was right.
Without it, we just feel bad.
I'm so sorry. Maybe that man who tried to shoot me, maybe he was right.
I think this test cut of Stepford Wives gives us permission to laugh, and that laughter relieved the moral pressure of this story and just let us have fun.
I feel a little dizzy. You're glowing.
According to the New York Post article, A Nightmare on Main Street by Russell Scott Smith and dated June 6, 2004, an on-set source claimed that the film's production had too many egos, too many cooks, and frequent clashes between the cast and director Frank Oz. Every major player had an opinion about how the movie should go, Some wanted the movie to be a manic satire of the suburbs. Others wanted a sci-fi thriller like the original Stepford, and there seems to have been a contingent on adding schmaltzy redemption at the end. I believe that the final cut of Stepford was an attempt to reshape a dark comedy into something more friendly.
I just that up.
I believe the test cut is a closer representation of what the filmmakers were trying to wrangle out of a hellish production.
When I'm home.
And he's off camera.
Sadly, and as much as I want it, I have no hope that the test cut will ever be restored and properly released. But, you know what they say.
You can't stop Stepford!
No!
This is Try Ply Video, and this has been my 2 cents.